And let's also talk about Weili because she's champion and there are a lot going on. And if you could tell a little story about her, it'd be good.
So with her, Scott Sheely, uh, who is with us as well, he kind of created the introduction there with her. Myself being half Chinese, I was born in Hong Kong. It was kind of easy for me to kind of relate to the cultural differences there, and we, Whaley did not want to. She actually didn't even want to come to the UFC at first. She wasn't like dying to get in the UFC because I know the UFC had tried to get her several times before she was with us. And she was just, content being a martial artist and fighting in shows over in China. Um, and as I got to know her and went to the first fight um, with her, their circle of people are just some of the best people um, I've ever met. So I was born in Hong Kong, but I'd never been to mainland China. My very first trip to mainland China could not have been a better experience for me, and not only me, the people that I was with at that event. Weili and her coaches and her entire team took such good care of us that it was a kind of a life-changing experience for myself and all the people that we were there. Jessica Penne was with me, Laura Mueller was with me, some other people on the UFC production team that were, that we all were a part of this circle that they were hosting us all around China, and it was just incredible. Um, and getting to know Weili and her coaches and her person and Weili's personality, um, she is she is also another person that is truly, truly humble, and she's like a pure martial artist, in the sense like when you see something in an old kung fu movie, her personality is truly like that. Like she is somebody that will never trash talk anybody, you know. But if somebody trash talks her, she kind of has this very wise approach to replying and responding to them. And when she goes into a fight, she's not looking to hurt anybody or do anything like that. She even said in an interview when I one time, and I was like, I started chuckling because she's like, she wants to end the fights early, right? And most people want to, most when you're from the Western world, I want to go in there, I want to knock them out and get them out of there in one round. So, they're kind of like trash talking it. She's like, oh, I would like to end it early because it would be less damage on them, you know.
That's scary. and
Less,
and
she doesn't want to
Lloyd, I
inflict
should
that
do
type of
it.
damage.
She's so
Yeah,
good, man. That's scary.
she's very good. She's very good, and she wants to, another thing about Whaley that I picked up on when I was in Abu Dhabi with her. We were doing interviews and like, is there anybody you want her to fight? And then she, everybody in the interviews and in the Western world took it all like, oh, she called out Valentina, and then Valentina took a little bit of offense to it. She's like, oh, letting things get to your head, young lady, get this and that. And Whaley was like a little bit shocked. She's like, I didn't mean it. Like, she's like, I meant that she's a master of her division. I'm a master of my division. And I would love to test our skills against each other. She really meant it with the utmost respect. And Valentina didn't take it that way. And the media kind of put it out like, oh, Whaley talked, you
Obviously,
know,
yeah.
but the truth of the matter is she just looks at it like, have you ever seen the movie It Man?
Yes, I did.
So when the two masters get together and they're drinking tea and they want to like talk about how they want to test their skills, but they get into a fight and then the kid would come in the room and they would stop, and they didn't want to break the furniture,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of how Weilei's personality is, like master versus master. Let's see how our games play. So she really has that sense of martial arts about her, and she doesn't have like a lot of fear and anxiety when she goes into a fight because to her it's really her game, her skills, her being a master, testing it against somebody else's, and she considers everybody in the UFC to be a master of sorts.